All right, hey guys. This is sort of the intro to this channel, to what I want to accomplish here. I see a lot of stuff on YouTube that is doomsday prepper stuff, bug out bag stuff, but they're talking to about you know all kinds of stuff that isn't to me relevant to somebody who's just starting out, who may be saying, I got to do this. I've heard so much about it, and I got to try to get a bug out bag started. But what the heck do I do? What's good advice? What's bad advice? What should I do? One of the big things that I see that probably puts a lot of people off. If you're out here on YouTube, you're going to see people recommending that you buy or get a hold of it. They say things like, you have to buy the best because your life depends on it. Okay, that is more or less true. However, if you're just starting out in this and you're trying to figure out, how do I get a 72-hour bag together? If you're going to try to buy the most expensive of everything that you can possibly get, not the most expensive, but high-end stuff, you're probably not going to get it all together very quickly. Okay, a high-tech fabric tarp that costs $150 is going to be better than the $10 or $15 tarp you buy at Wally World. But you know what? The one from Wally World, while it's noisy as heck in the wind, it'll keep the rain off you. And if you're in an emergency situation and your choice was, well, I buy the high-end stuff, so I've been waiting to do that, and now the disaster happened, the emergency happened, and it's raining on me, and I have no way to keep the rain off me. So what good did it really do you see what I'm trying to get at? So what I want to try to do here is show things that aren't necessarily the best. They're not necessarily high-end, but they're things that you are going to want to have, to get a hold of, and then as you can, you upgrade them. To me, I just don't see the point in waiting to buy high-end stuff. Get what you can now, get your bag together, get it started, get it put together, then you can start upgrading stuff as you go. I mean, this is one reason why a lot of guys, there's two things you're going to collect a lot of: knives and bags, backpacks, sling bags, all kinds of bags. Because you're going to try something out, you're going to get it, you're going to pack it up, you're going to get your stuff, and then you're going to say to yourself, I want something bigger, or this just doesn't fit me right. I don't like the way I got to get something else. I'm that way with sling bags. I have one, and the only thing I use it for is for just tooling around during the day, especially in the summertime where I'm going to be outside a lot, because it's got a water pouch on the side. You can put a water bottle in. I take that around. I don't fill it with a lot of stuff. It's not really an EDC carry, which is what I originally thought about buying it for. Because I just don't like the sling bags, man. I just don't like the way they fit on me. I'm a big guy. I don't like the way they fit on me. So I've got other stuff. And one of the videos I'm going to throw out here is going to be about one of those. It's really a 24-hour bag. But anyway, so that's how I'm going to approach this, more along the lines of, this is the kind of stuff that you can get started, get your bag started, get it together, and then you can, as you learn more, you get more knowledge, you start looking at other YouTube channels that might currently seem a little intimidating. I don't see that, but I can see how it could be, where you get into some of these channels and man, they're intense, they're going, the stuff they're talking about, whoa. And I was like that at one time. Now, I'm not an expert at this by any means. I'm just telling you what I've done and how I've done stuff and how I put stuff together. I'll give you some reviews of equipment and things that I have, that I've used, that I like for various reasons. It's obviously up to you to decide, but there is a starting point. You can start out without spending $10,000 to become an ultra prepper immediately. I don't think anybody's done that. There may be some people that do, but most people, you got to start out small, build up as you go. If you're a family guy like I am, or gal, you got a wife, significant other, husband, whatever, they need a bag. You got kids, they need a bag. Even if you've got little kids, really young, and they're not going to be carrying anything on their own, you still have to have something that's kind of dedicated to them. Otherwise, you're going to have problems with what their needs are as opposed to yours. So there's all kinds of things to think about. I'll give you resources. Whenever you look at one of these videos, there's on YouTube, you got your little window here, unless you're in full screen mode, but you got your little window. Underneath that, there's a thing that says more. Click on that, drop it down, all kinds of resources in there. I'll mention specific resources as I go. And they're probably the first few videos, especially this introductory one, I'm just going to add all kinds of junk in there. But then later, as I get more specific in some of the videos, I'll only include some of the links of the stuff I'm talking about, or stuff that's directly related to it, so you'll see, so you won't have to wade through everything. But I'm going to give you all kinds of resources when it first starts out. So what I'm hoping for the channel is that people who are just starting out, who are a little intimidated, I'll give you an example. One of the things you'll hear a lot, get a fire steel, learn how to use it, start a fire, learn how to, to be able to do it in your sleep. Okay, how do you do that? You go camping a couple times a year. Okay, but that's not going to help a lot. But that's what they tell you. Do it. Practice. So one of the things I did, and I can't even show it to you right now because I actually threw it away at the beginning of the summer because it had gotten so bad. I had it for several seasons and it basically just sat out. But you go to, Big Blue Home Store, the Big Orange Home Store, in Wally World, you go into those places and you'll see looks like a big bowl with legs on it, made out of metal with a screen top on it for a little outdoor fire. It's meant for your porch, your deck. You go out, make a little fire. Bingo, there you go. Almost everybody, especially if you're in suburbia, but even if you're in cities, there's almost always places where you can find, branches and wood. There's trees all over New York City. There's trees, in the park. So there's places where you can gather some of that stuff up. That's the kind of stuff you need: some branches, smaller stuff. Break it up into small pieces. Make a little fire. Make the wood. TP it. I'll show you. And then you have some burnable stuff in the very middle of it. Use your fire steel. Get it started. Get a fire going. Put more wood on it. Get it built up. You could do that in one of those things easily if you're, on weekends in the fall and early winter. You go out to your deck and collect wood. Again, and another thing, a lot of the same places, also grocery stores a lot in the wintertime, you'll see they have bundles of wood sitting right out front, $4.99 or whatever it is for a little bundle of wood. There you go. Perfect thing to go out and buy, use to burn. Practice doing some wood processing, so if you're ever stuck in a situation or you got a knife out in the woods, you got a fire kit, you need to make a fire, you're not going to be totally lost. I have no idea what I'm going to do, and we'll do some of this stuff here. Now, I'm a prepper. I'm not a survivalist. I'm not a bushcrafter. I'm not a woodcraftsman. I'm not those guys. There's a lot of those out there on YouTube. Some of them are really good. Off the top of my head, there's Feral Woodcraft. There is Prepared Mind 101. There's Mantis Outdoors. I can't think of his last name off the top of my head. All that stuff is great. Those guys are not, Mantis Outdoors is great. I mean, he shows you all kinds of stuff, how to do stuff. Chris Tanner, Prepared Mind 101, great. His channel you definitely have to check out. He tends to be a little, I'm not going to say high end. I'm not trying to, but he's been a prepper for a long time. He's been in YouTube videos for a long time. So he tends to be looking at stuff that's not in the beginning, intermediate stages. It's a little bit more advanced. But he still has a lot of great reviews of all kinds of useful stuff. Flashlights, knives. You want to know something about knives, ask Chris Tanner. Or go on his site and search knives. He's got tons of reviews and how to use knives and stuff, how to sharpen them. I mean, you want to know anything about that, that's the guy, definitely. But he's got all kinds of good stuff on there to look at. He reviews bags, he reviews anything you can imagine, he reviews. And he is a prepper. He considers himself a prepper, not a survivalist, so not a bushcrafter. So that's what we're talking about here. Disaster preparedness, bug out bags, that kind of stuff. That's what we're basic survival, so that you can get out there and hopefully, be okay if you get stuck in the woods somewhere. All right, guys. This is kind of an intro. Subscribe, like, and if you know anybody who's just starting out, who has talked about it, yeah, I really want to get a bug out bag together. I really want to kind of do this stuff. Don't know where to look. Hopefully this will be a good resource for everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Like and subscribe, and don't forget, make sure you're preparing.